Hello, 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 my lovely friends. Thank you for joining me here on A Journey in Light. Today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are going over what do you need to know. This is messages from Spirit, the universe, however you want to word that. This could be really on anything. I'm not sure how it's going to go. We're kind of just letting Spirit take the lead. It could be on relationships, could be on love, could be on your healing journey, just being very open. I did go ahead and pick out 3 crystals that I felt guided, and then we're going to pull some opening cards and to help you decide, and then we will go from there. So for pile 1, I have this pistachio calcite. So we're going to pull a card for this pistachio calcite for pile 1. Too many, but this guy wants to come out. So we have Shining Through. It's the card number 30 for pile 1. Pile 2, we have this Tealight here. And so pile 2's card, A Beautiful Uncaging, number 14. And pile 3, we have this ethereal quartz. It's a type of smoky quartz. Has a lot of really cool inclusions that kind of look like angels in some of them for pile 3. So let's see. Pile 3's card. We have The Land Between, number 40. So again, pile 1, Shining Through with the pistachio calcite. Pile 2, Beautiful Uncaging with the Tealight. And pile 3, the ethereal quartz with the Land Between. So take a deep breath, go with whichever pile you're drawn to the most. If you're drawn to more than one, feel free to watch more than one. Again, I really don't know what is going to come up in this reading, but I'm pretty excited. I felt very guided to do a spirit-led message. It's been a while, and a lot of you guys have been requesting this. So I will leave these up for a moment. The timestamps will be in the description box below. If you're having a hard time choosing, feel free to check there. But yeah, I'll leave these up. Pause the screen if you need, and then I will see you at your pile. Bye, guys. Hello, 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 my lovely friends. For pile 1, you picked the pistachio calcite here. Cool crystal. And as you saw in the intro, your card ended up being the number 30, Shining Through. I did pull out the book just because I wanted to just kind of recap what this card was about. And the description is so great that I actually want to just read you guys the description instead of just summarizing it, because I feel like there's some different points in here that you guys need to hear if you're drawn to this pile. Since we're going, over what Spirit wants you to hear, here you go. So the key concepts are self-expression without filters or masks, authentic communication, being proud of who you are, shining in the world, refusing to make yourself small just to belong. So some of you may be getting called out if you've been dimming your light, if you've been holding back on your true authentic self, possibly holding out on some gifts, sharing your weirdness with the world because you're afraid of not belonging or something along those lines, or just, holding yourself back from feeling like you're too much. But again, I'm going to read the whole thing. If I read too slow for you, I don't know if you guys know this fun hack, especially if you're watching tarot readers and we tend to be a little slow sometimes. You can adjust the playback speed with the little the settings dial, and you can make it a little bit faster so I talk faster, or slower. Sometimes people say I talk too fast if you're trying to listen to it in a different language and translate. So anywho, I shall begin. All right, it says, you are being called to step into your true power and essence. This is one of those times when you're required to bring everything you are and all you have learned, experienced, and integrated and offer it up to service in the world. When you take center stage, you will be noticed. Yes, as you shine brightly, you will naturally stand apart from others. This idea may bring up excitement and genuine pride or discomfort, but this is not the time to make yourself small to avoid the glare of the spotlight and potentially punishment by others. It takes courage, but know that is the right thing for you today. Side note, I also need this message because of some other stuff I'm trying to do and bring in. I'll talk about that in my post-reading recap or post-reading chat after this entire reading. Anywho, moving along. You have come so far. You have been in the proverbial back of the room in learning and gathering mode for so long that is important. This is an important time, has served its purpose. You must now step into a new consciousness, seizing a new opportunity to share your wisdom. You will be like a lighthouse shining through the dark, illuminating the way for others. Again, this is for me, pile one, so we're in this together. Be careful of voices in your head that say you can't or you don't know enough or who are you to shine? The better question is, who are you not to shine? All you are and all you have become is by the grace of the divine, and now it's your duty to share your gifts and celebrate this. So that starts your reading, pile one, that it is time to shine. It's time to stop holding yourself back. That could mean putting yourself open to some criticism. I get that that's hard and that's scary. My comment section can be a not so fun place. Don't go looking for them. I typically do remove them if they're very negative. So anywho, because I don't need that. I don't need the energy here. And I also don't need you guys defending me because sometimes that causes a fight back and forth. I don't like that either. But moving along. So pile one. What else does pile one need to know, need to hear? I'm going to just pull a couple tarot, and then this is probably going to be more of a oracle reading. Oracle card reading, just because I feel like there's just a lot of abstract things that need to come out in this reading. But let's get some tarot. Pile one, what do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Three of Swords. Okay. The High Priestess. A Ten of Wands. Wow, okay. So this message has some weight and some heaviness to it. If some pain, some heartache, some sadness is now currently or has held you back or weighed on you for a long time, there is a need to heal that. There is a need to work through it. There is a need to release it, even if it's just giving it over to the divine with the High Priestess here. In the heartaches, in the hard times, there has been a lot of lessons for you to learn. This might be some of what you are called and being pulled to share, possibly pulled some, shared some experiences that have been really hard on you. But through all this, you've become the person that you are. I know sometimes people don't like hearing that. They're like, well, I never wanted to go through that, or I shouldn't have gone through that, or all those things. And I'm not here to counteract that frame of thinking or that way of feeling. But the divine is wanting you to know, Spirit's wanting you to know that as hard as it was, as heavy as it is, it has served a purpose. And you see the world through a different light, and you're here to, again, shine for others, to assist others. I feel someone may also be called to do some sort of social work, or I'm honestly, if I'm being very honest, guys, I'm seeing like a domestic violence kind of assistance kind of thing, where because you've been through something really hard in your life, you're going to be like that shining light to help people that are going through it. That might just be a one-off for somebody, but if it's something you've been kind of like nagging at your soul that you've wanted to do, this is your nod to really look into that, even if it's just a small level, like once once a month. You know, I know a lot of us don't have a lot of time, but if you've been feeling really called to either be in service of people that have been through similar really hardships, you're being really, really pushed to do that. Even if you don't feel like you have your stuff together this far yet, or you don't feel like you've advanced enough to provide any light to someone else, just the fact that you're still standing here provides that light for them. So if you are going through a hard time currently, doesn't have to be of any particular circumstance, Spirit wants you to know that they are here. They are here to assist. There is a call for some of you to realize that you can ask for help from your team, the universe, God, however you view your connection. Hopefully most of you guys that are here do think in those terms. I will say team because that's my understanding of it. But they want you to know that they are here to assist and help, even if it's relieving some of the weight that this has fallen on your shoulders from the situation. That's going to look a little different for everybody. However, your guides, your angels, the universe does want to help, but we were given free will, so they can't per se help unless you ask. So even if you're having a hard day, you can say, hey, look, I can't handle all this right now. Can you help lift my spirit? Can you help relieve some of this? Can you take some of this away? Like, I got the lesson now. This weight is dragging me down. If there's anything you can do to release that, please take that away. So know that you are being supported even in the hard times. Sometimes when we're in our lowest times, we feel abandoned even by spirit because we quote unquote can't feel them. There is a reminder that when you are that low, they're always there, but you're in this lower vibration. And because spirit and your guides and angels are on such a high vibration, you just might not be able to feel them at that time, because vibrationally they would have to come down so low to meet you. So there's a reminder there that they're always around. You just in those low vibrational moments might not actually be able to quote unquote feel them or hear them or get the messages per se, because you're so low. And so there's not a, I don't feel bad about that. Just remember that they are still there, even if you can't feel them, is what I'm trying to relay with that message. Do I want to do more tarot? No. Okay. I'm going to move on. Where am I going to move on? I think we're going to move on here. Again, I was going to do a totally different reading today, and that's not what we're doing. I was pulled to do this reading. I don't know how many people will watch this, but my goal is to get to those who needed to hear this and needed to know this. So next, pile one. What else do they need to know, need to hear at this time? Success. That success is yours. If there is some endeavor that you've been working towards, maybe you have been putting a lot of energy into something and you're having heartbreak because you can't see it just yet. It hasn't worked out just yet. Maybe you have been putting yourself out there. You've been shining and you're like, this isn't working. Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. You know, there's a message that success around this, and success looks different to everyone. Like, success is right around the corner. That, you know, not to give up, even if, you know, sometimes you may feel down. It may feel heavy. It may feel hard. Just know that, you know, that soul calling you have, there is a purpose behind there, and there will be a level of success. Again, that looks different to everybody. It could be financial to one. It could just be helping someone else to another. It could be moving into a different, you know, career, whatever that looks like to you. Just know whatever this is that's weighing heavy on your heart, that you've been working towards, that you've been trying really hard for, is going to come to light. And it's really just right there. So don't give up. Okay. Let me get another card from this deck. That's way too many, but we'll take this embracing. was trying to figure out in this card if this was like fireflies or fire. We have this heron here. I think I pulled this card one time and I was like, I couldn't figure out if it was a crane or a heron, and everybody put their 2 cents in, and I think I looked it up and I want to say it was a heron. But embracing. This kind of goes hand in hand with embracing this passion. I think about this kind of look of fire in this card, and embracing that fire within you, embracing this knowing that you have, even if maybe, again, it hasn't quite come to fruition just yet. Really embracing that passion you have, that drive you have, that nudge in your soul, that vibe that you're being guided to. This all really ties into this message about you really being your authentic self, sharing your experiences. And I feel the need to reiterate, even if you're not to where you think you need to be this person to share, you're much further along than you're giving yourself credit for. And you're going to help so many people, even if you're not at this successful endpoint that you think you need to be at before you start whatever this is. But just to embrace the passion, embrace the knowledge that you have, and know that that's really going to help heal and lead other people. And really, like, just, it's going to help the world just by your authentic self. Even if you don't feel like the authentic self is there quite yet, you're there enough to help somebody, get someone out of position. Sometimes when we're really low and we want to get somewhere, but it feels so far, you know, there's such a big gap between here and success, you know, like feeling sad and success. And sometimes seeing people that are kind of in the process, but still putting it out there, like it's such a uplifting thing. You're like, oh, you know, there is the in-between. I don't have to go from this to success. I don't have to be like, take this big leap and bound. Like there's lots of different steps in the way. And then seeing that example in other people, and people that are striving towards something, regardless of what they've been through, can be very helpful and healing to others. And yeah, this message is all really very much right now about serving others. And if you feel called, again, it doesn't have to be some massive thing. Just you being authentic and really standing in your power is a way of service. What card? Keep looking at the chakra deck. So let's see. Pile 1. What else do we need to talk about? What do they need to know? What do they need to hear at this time? Okay, we have a heart chakra that wanted to come out too. So we're going to take both of those. All right, we have a sacral chakra. Red avertine is highlighted. I don't think I have that crystal. But anything red or orange is crystal associated with the sacral chakra. Just think about this color. And this card says journey. Enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. So again, it's you'll get to where you're trying to go, but you got to just go through the process, you know, and part of the experience is getting there and enjoying that, and enjoying the journey, and the journey of creativity, and going along with it. Some of you may need to do some healing around your sacral chakra. If you're not sure what that is, look it up. Possibly look up some sacral chakra meditations. There's a ton on YouTube. I'm actually going to start putting some out. I believe I'm being called to do that. It's that hesitation I have, probably like some of you guys watching this, about who am I to do this thing, even though I do it on my own all the time. However, that's why I feel like this is for me as well, pile 1. Look into those and healing that part of you. This also comes with healing your confidence in yourself. But I think stepping out and stepping into your true authentic self, regardless of what anyone else thinks, will help build your confidence, because you're going to find the ones that are attracted to your light and need to hear just what you need, like what you have to say in your personal experience, or whatever it is that you're doing. They need just that. They need your light in their darkness, or your light in this world. And that will help bring you confidence, because you'll be like, oh, you know, there was a purpose to this, even if I couldn't see it. And that will help build your confidence. Your other chakra highlight is your heart chakra. So we have the rose quartz highlighted here. So here's a big piece of rose quartz. It's a favorite of mine. And this card says self-love. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. So there may be a need to also work on self-love. This honestly feels more like self-acceptance. And part of that is being authentic and stepping into yourself. If your fear of what other people are going to think, digest that or dissect that a little bit more and see if those fears are actually thoughts that you're having about yourself. And is that you not accepting you as you are? Because you have those thoughts, or, you know, again, what's someone going to think? Well, what do you think? And do you have negative self-talk about this thing that you want to do because you're just afraid in general, and working through that? But that comes with radical self-love, self-acceptance, and self-worth kind of vibe here. Okay, let's see. I got some Secret Garden cards. Man, I loved that book and movie when I was a kid. Secret Garden. Maybe I should read it again. Is anyone else a Secret Garden fan? All right, let's see. Oh, you guys got two from here too. Let's see. Wallflower. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. This is kind of like a message around blooming where you're at. You know, if you look, you're walking along, you can see grass or flower or something growing from a crack. You know, it's nature finding a way. So this is about finding a way, find your way out, find a crack in the concrete. I feel like that's going to hit someone very specifically. So if that was for you, there you go. And then we have play. Among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. So there's a message also about playing. If you've been too serious in life, or, you know, this thing feels super serious, maybe be more playful about it. Have more fun. Again, enjoying the journey along the way, playing in this. It doesn't, like, stop focusing on how it needs to look, or how being very specific around this outcome. Let that go and enjoy the process. Enjoy, you know, getting in touch with yourself. Enjoy the people that you're going to meet, the people that you're going to help, all those kinds of things is kind of what's coming up here. All right, let's see. Let me shuffle this one time. And I thank you guys for being here. These are the type of readings I really, really love to do. I hold back from doing this much because I figure everyone just wants to watch the love readings, but I do want to put more of these types out, and I need to get out of my own way about it, or what people are going to think or not watch or not like about them. So I'm glad that you guys are here, so thank you. We have motivation. Motivation kindles the passion and energy needed in working towards your goals. So if you're having a hard time getting motivated, maybe look at, you know, what your motivations are and kind of adjust that. What makes you excited again? Also, I think the sacral chakra, like if you've been having a hard time getting motivated, moving and stuff, there may be some healing need to be done around your sacral chakra. Again, look into affirmations and stuff and the things that motivate you and keep you going. Maybe that needs a little bit of tweak. Maybe look at what your motivations are, and if there's something about that is misaligned, then maybe readjust and it'll help you move forward. Let's see what else from this deck for pile one. Aura. A healthy aura keeps your energy in harmony and balance. So I feel the need to talk about some spiritual hygiene. Make sure you're cleansing your space, cleansing your energy, and that can just be as simple as setting an intention. You know, some people have big rituals, cool, but you know, maybe you don't have like Palo Santo or a chance to like take everything out and cleanse your whole space. You know, setting that intention, setting the intention to cleanse and clear your energy every day is a good thing. And also, if you have a tendency to be an empath and you pick a lot up when you go out, set an intention around protecting your aura when you go out, protecting your energy. Put on like a little bubble of protection for yourself. It can be as simple as that, setting an intention to do that. I think a really good practice is to call your energy back at the end of the night before you go to bed. And I would say call it back cleansed and clear, like say the intention. I call back all my energy that has been, left out in the world intentionally, unintentionally. I call it back to me, and I call it back cleansed and cleared. Or any moments that you're feeling really low or low energy, doing those kind of things can be very helpful as well. Okay. I think this is a starseed deck, so let's see. What does pile 1 need to hear from this deck, please? Okay, we have 2 from this one. It says, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So yeah, there's some sort of soul plan here. Your soul remembers. There's something fated or within destiny. I'm not sure why that's a versus. Like, now do I need to pull out this book? I think I do. Let's see. I remember. There we are. The Starseed Soul Inquiry about this card is, what are you being called to do? Surrender to your soul's plan. Says, there was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of your life you're living right now. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we are born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you towards, and to remember that this very moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You might find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment when you're being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you, or choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change in career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something that requires courage and faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her journey comes eye to eye with doubt, and the only way around is through it. It's part of the larger plan. So there you go. And then, oh, these came out together. I didn't even look down. I opened up to I'm sorry, and I was like, ooh, okay. So we have I'm sorry, defenselessness, riding past wrongs, and uprooting. It says, we're living in diverse times. When we're hurting and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity and love and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been diverse. The shadows, the hate, the wounds, separations, severings, wrongs, and sadness. You may be called to explore how you or your ancestors or your society have, consciously or unconsciously, inflicted pain on others, to find a way to drop the armor around your heart and to see things as they truly are for all people, to say, I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it, to be a part of healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or repression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the pattern that has got us here. You may be called to devote your time to the causes you believe in or healing work in your ancestral line. So those are some pretty deep messages there for you, pile 1. Let's kind of jump back this way, and I'm going to pull this card, and then I'm going to pull a soulmate message card too. And then I think we're going to end this. So let's see, what else does pile 1 need to hear? Seek hidden treasure. So, you know, there is a need to dive into something. You know, both of these cards talked about diving deep into yourself, looking for something and covering something. This is here too. So there is something, there's a treasure within you. There's something that's wanting to come out. You just kind of have to look deeper for it. And also I feel like, you know, looking for like almost like the silver lining in things is a really helpful thing at this time. Trying to remain optimistic and yeah, see the brighter side of things. Sometimes when we get really deep and dark in moments, it's really hard to do that. Personally, I try to do things as like I just start looking around the room for things that I'm grateful for to help shift me out of that really low vibrational energy. So maybe even just seeking gratitude. And then you guys have face your shadows. So this has come up a couple times. There may be a need to really do some shadow work here for you, pile 1, if you've been avoiding that, if you're not sure about that, even just looking up shadow work prompts, like Google that. I mean, there's a lot of cool journals and stuff that people sell, rock on if that's what you want to do, but you can simply just look up shadow work prompts and get out a handy dandy piece of paper, pick a couple of them, write them down, and start really diving into yourself and look into that. And that's one way to start for free, basically. If you're looking to kind of, you know, look at your shadow, see what shadows are holding you back, like what is causing this self-doubt, and really like unpack that and see what you can change and shift about yourself in order to move forward and feel better. All right, so one last card I'm going to pull, pile 1. Again, thank you for being here. We're going to just pull a soulmate message card just to see what else does pile 1 need to hear. This is possibly in the context of love. Don't really want to jump too hard on this very deep topic, but the twin flames, your passion ignites card popped out. Let's see what else. So if you're already on that journey, there's maybe a confirmation there for you. And then we will look at this card. It says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So there may be some sort of forgiveness if we're not diving in too deep about these starseed cards, especially with this I'm sorry. There could be some sort of need for apology or need for accepting forgiveness and not placing blame, and understanding everybody's coming from a weird spot. If someone's opening up to you and asking for forgiveness, actually like listening to that and to try to expand your understanding of life and love instead of making it so black and white. There may be something for you guys there as well. So pile 1, I'm going to end this here. I hope these messages helped. I hope you did enjoy this reading. Don't forget to give a comment, even if it's just an emoji, like the video, share this with anyone that you think needs to hear it. As well as if you're interested in personal readings, all the information is in the description box as well. As always, I appreciate you guys spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in a future reading. Bye, guys. Hello, hello, my lovely friends for pile 2. You guys picked this chart right here. All right, and we are, this reading is about what do you need to know, messages from spirit, from your guides, from your angels, however you want to put that. You guys picked the beautiful uncaging card. I'm going to go ahead and just actually read the description from the book for this. It's a pretty heavy message. I'm gonna give a little possible trigger warning on that if you're it's surrounding guilt and the idea of guilt. So if you don't feel like there's anything around guilt that you need to hear, maybe this isn't your reading. Again, lots of stuff is going to come out, but this is a pretty heavy message. I read it and I was like, okay, this is where we're going with this pile. But I think it's important to hear. So if you want to stick around, I would love to have you guys here. And we're starting here. I don't know where the rest of this reading is going to go, but I am going to start by reading this message. Again, this is the number 14, beautiful uncaging. The key concepts of this card are the prison of guilt, a need for self-inventory, rigorous honesty, accountability, and making amends. All right. At this time, you're being called to assess where guilt is playing a part in your life and recognize how it's affecting you and others, and address it so you can release yourself from its grip. Guilt is a powerful emotional state, capable of transforming difficult situations. It keeps you accountable for your actions when you're doing something that causes harm. However, it can also feed a self-sabotaging cycle that fosters codependency and a distorted sense of personal power. Self-blame can lead to behaviors that perpetuate low self-worth. Have you done or said something for which you need to make amends? Have you disregarded a boundary or broken a promise? Guilt can make you aware of potential ways you have given injury and show you how to redress the transgression. When you sincerely admit that you're wrong and begin to process to fix it, this is an act of accountability, responsibility, and liberation. Take a moment now to consider when you have harmed others or yourself. This knowledge will free you from the story you will tell about it, so you are able to connect with a truthful remorse. Now is the time for rigorous honesty as you take a self-inventory with a neutral state of mind. That neutral state of mind, like we're not going in with blame. A good question to ask yourself now is, why is the guilt there? You might be taking a burden on that isn't even yours to carry. Pay attention, take action, uncage yourself from the prison of your own making. I think that's said enough. Depending on what comes up with the tarot cards, I might not jump in that too much, but this is about relieving yourself from the pressure of guilt. And part of that is either recognizing that it's not yours to carry at all. Maybe someone has made you feel guilty, and that lie has been going on so long in your head that you believe it. So, and look at guilt, any guilt that you feel like you carry, regardless of circumstance. Try to look at it from a neutral state and what you can do to move forward to release it, because you need to unburden yourself because it's weighing your heart down. That's the key point I'm getting from that. That's the loving message there. So we'll see what comes up with tarot next. I will be doing a lot of oracle cards in this reading. I've done one pile so far. It went a certain way. I don't know where this one's going. I'm just along for the ride. So let's see. Pile 2. What else do they need to know? What do they need to hear at this time? What does pile need to know or need to hear? Five of Swords. This one's called Five of Voices. I'm going to pull 3 and kind of start there. We do have an olive branch here, so maybe some forgiveness is tied up into this guilt, but sometimes that's strictly for ourselves. I said I was going to pull more cards, but here I go. Anyway, so Five of Swords can be a fight with somebody else, but it also can just be a fight within your own head. It's like when that hamster wheel goes over and over and over, but it's not really getting anywhere. And this could be attached to this message about really going in with a neutral state and seeing where you can do to uncage yourself from the burden of guilt. All right, this one. We have a 5 of Pentacles. Oh, and this is 14, which reduces to 5. So now we have 5, 5, 5. So this also pile, there's a message around change, like a change needs to happen. So we have 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. All right. If there is feelings of abandonment or abandoning someone else, okay, I'm going to try not to bring this back to this message, but they may coincide. There is a need for change, guys, and change is going to lead you to that new inspiration, that new way of being, that new fiery, passionate beginning you need. So there may be some sort of conflict that you've been going over and over in your head. There could be a feeling of abandonment. If there's any abandonment wounds that you have not addressed or not dealt with, if you don't relate to the guilt part of that, there may be a need to look at where you felt abandoned, where you feel abandoned, where if relationships trigger that in you, if you keep getting stuck in that cycle of relationships where you keep getting abandoned by people, or people keep treating you the same endless cycle. It may be a loop and a lesson that you need to learn something from. We are all here, at least to my understanding, all here for experiences to learn certain lessons. Maybe that's one of your life ones. But in order to break that cycle, if it's been happening over and over, and again, you're like, why does this keep happening? But you keep reacting the same way or doing the same thing. It's the universe trying to show you something. It's trying to teach you something. And most of the time we, unfortunately, for whatever reason, signed up for these things. Maybe not how it actually goes down, but that experience of it, and to learn it. Maybe, try a new approach, especially with this Ace of Wands here, a new way of thinking about it, a new way of reacting to something, and really diving into whatever the situation triggers within us. That's your soul screaming, please, let's heal this. Please, let's work through this so we can get past this already and have this new beginning, have this new way of thinking, have this new way of being. But it starts with you. And that's kind of what this message also is having accountability for whatever the things are going on in your life. So maybe that is the bigger message here is, okay, well, I can't necessarily control what other people do. And it may not be my fault for what someone else has done to me, but I can control how I allow it to affect me, the reactions I have, and how much power I give away to it. And we're going to stop that. We're going to change the way we view it. We're going to look at the damage that it caused. It's not your fault for that damage being there. It's not your fault for being abandoned by people. It's not your fault for whatever this is, but it is your responsibility to heal it. It is the challenge to work through it. It is the experience to do that. And that is the way through. There's no getting around it at this point, especially if you've had this repeated cycle. You're not getting around it. You need to go through it. That's how you heal it. You need to face it head on. And that's where you'll get this new beginning that you're so desperately wanting. Everything you want is on the other side of the work you're avoiding, is a saying that I see a lot. And, I think it rings true for lots of different things. So there is some work that needs to be done, but it starts with you. And as hard as that seems, it's actually also easier because you don't have to worry about anybody else. It's not really involving anyone else. It's your own self work. It's your own self change, and you can do it all, and you don't really even need anyone else's participation. If there's guilt and there's some sort of forgiveness that needs to be done, sometimes just forgiving yourself or forgiving that person on an energetic level frees you from the guilt and anger associated with whatever it is that you're feeling. Not even that you need to forgive someone in person or be their best friend or anything like that. But if you're harboring old feelings of resentment and all those things, those aren't damaging that other person, it's damaging you. And forgiving and releasing that frees you from that energetic cord you have tied to that person in that situation. Okay, very deep message, pile 2. With all that, sending lots of love. And I hope that comes across well. So let's see where we're going next. Maybe we'll be a little lighter. Who knows? Pile 2. What else do they need to hear? What do they need to know, need to hear at this time? Simplicity and flow. So there is a need to simplify things. For some of you, actually, I think simplifying material things in your life, maybe purging of things you no longer need, even if it means selling some stuff, unburdening yourself with the weight that's carrying you, and simplify your life again, either physically, emotionally, or just, the complications that you put on yourself. Like if you've been really stringent and things have to be XYZ, maybe release that a little bit and kind of go with the flow. So you're being guided to simplify some things and just go with the flow. This also involves releasing control of things and releasing control of how it needs to turn out. And as hard as that is, it actually can be one of the most freeing things you ever do in your life. Detaching yourself from the outcome and learning to simply go with it and go with the flow and enjoy each step of the journey and be detached from the outcome. Again, it's hard in the beginning, but such a freeing thing. And again, we have this beautiful encaging. So I think ultimately maybe this reading, that if we had to give it a word, would be freedom. And what things are caging you, and what can you do to free yourself? And again, a lot of this feels like it's either old lessons or the way you think about something. Like it's stuff within your own head that's trapping you. And learning to simplify that and just go with the flow. And if you do have some sort of, I'm really getting like anxious feelings through like my solar plexus and sacral. So if you have any like digestion issues related around stress, look at if you do have stress caused digestive issues or nervous stomach, that kind of vibe. It might be a time to really look into tactics and strategies for releasing stress. And a lot of that comes from releasing control around something or releasing your attachment to an outcome. Not saying that, you don't have to not care or not go towards a goal. And that's not what I mean. But when it causes you stress and all that stuff, like that's not good for you. You can still, have a goal, work towards the goal, but try to detach yourself a little bit from this exact outcome and allow the universe to surprise you a little bit. I feel like some of you guys, because you're so focused on it turning out one exact way, that you're limiting what the universe can actually bring in for you, and it wants a bigger prize for you. Bigger than you can even imagine, but you have to open up to that and enjoy the process along the way. We get so caught up on this like destination that we forget like life is in the in-between. Life is in the space between the date you were born and the date you died, that dash. That's where life happens. It's not that end point. So enjoy it in the middle. Okay. All right, next, let's see. Actually, I was talking about the solar plexus and the sacral. Let's see what pops up for. I'm going to close my eyes just because, so hopefully I don't miss them if they fall. I don't want to see the colors in the back of this. I don't want to have any objective. Not that you guys can see me, but all right. One more, anything else? What chakra cards? Yeah, okay, we're just going to take this one. All right. Oh, you guys actually have a chakra balance. 2 chakra balance cards. Wow. Okay. So this is all the chakras. So getting in alignment, making sure your chakras are balanced. Before I read these, if you've never done Reiki, energy healing of that sort, you may find that very beneficial at this time. Even taking a course to get attuned to be like level 1 Reiki and just simply doing it on yourself daily can be extremely healing, and it really doesn't take that long. Or finding like a class or something like that if you're interested in anything along the lines of Reiki and energy healing. Again, even simply just getting attuned to do it for yourself can be extremely healing. Okay, but it says out of chaos comes creation. Then you guys have amazonite, carnelian, peach moonstone, and red jasper. But this is called cycles. So you're maybe going through a cycle of things to get in alignment at this time. And then we have embrace the balance between earth and spirit. And then you have clear quartz, rose quartz, and hematite. But both of these are about getting your chakras aligned and in balance. If you don't want to do the Reiki route, you can even just look up meditations, like a full chakra balance meditation. You can find lots of free ones on YouTube. Maybe look into something like that. Do some sort of meditation to realign yourself if you felt out of whack. That could be very beneficial. Okay, let's see. This is Secret Garden Messages. I love that book and that movie, especially when I was a kid. So I think I just had a vivid imagination and I wanted to have my own secret garden. All right, you guys have hidden depths. You only see the surface, look beyond. So there's a need to look at things deeper at this time. Look at the hidden depths. Again, look at your own, if you're avoiding something, like really look deep into something because it's more than meets the eye. And then dare to take a risk and fly, pile 2. So you're being pushed to like really get deep, but also take a risk and fly. Do something daring. If you felt like maybe you've been stuck in the humdrum of life, you know, the hamster wheel of life, maybe you just need some spark. Maybe you need to do what sets your soul on fire. Maybe you need to find what sets your soul on fire. Again, sometimes we get so caught up in the rat race of life that we forget to even enjoy it. You know, I think that's part of this message for you guys, is really enjoying that. And if some of you guys have forgotten how to enjoy that, it happens. Even if you can start small, sometimes you get caught up in things and you're like, I don't even know what I like anymore. You know, try to think of something that made you happy at some point and start there. Let that be your little spark, that little kindling on a fire, and maybe revisit that. Do you still love doing that? Do you still like doing that? And this could be as simple as like watching a sunrise or a sunset. I personally went through something like this in my life, and I couldn't even tell you what I liked. I didn't even know. And I felt that out of touch with myself. And the only thing I knew I liked, I was like, well, I like sunsets. So started there, just started taking myself to sunsets. And then it's like, oh, you know, it started to feel like me. And the more you start to feel like yourself, you're like, oh, wait, I like this. I like this. And then I like art, and I like painting. And even if I'm bad at it, like, I know that's been a big lesson for me personally, is I have a tendency, especially with creative things, for things to have to be perfect, and I forget to enjoy the process. So painting is one of those things that forces me to, because I am not good at it, and having to get out of my own way that it needs to be perfect or needs to look like how it looks in my head, because it never does. It looks like, you know, a beautiful, amazing work of art in my head, and on paper it looks like a 3-year-old could have done a better job, you know. But teaching myself to take that risk and learn to enjoy things again is very, very beneficial. And it's something I'm still working on. But find your painting, find your thing that, you know, that maybe you've been hard on yourself about, but you know you enjoy, but maybe stopped enjoying because it didn't turn out to be this perfect thing. Or there's also, I think, a big collective thing around where we have a tendency to value what we do by its return or productivity, like value ourselves per our productivity. So we're like, oh, well, if this comes out a piece of crap, why am I doing it? Again, part of this message for you, pile 2, is about enjoying the journey, having fun, getting messy, enjoying the process, even if it turns out to be nothing, even if it turns out to be pure crap. Enjoying the process of it. That's where that good stuff is in the middle, the in between. Okay. But yeah, dare to take a risk. All right, next we're going to go here. What else does pile 2 need to hear? What do they need to know? Manifesting dreams. My dreams are coming true. I believe, like, once you guys get through whatever this little funk is that's kind of coming up in this reading, that's when you'll start being able to be more excited and be more high vibe again. And then you'll start manifesting your dreams again. You guys have an Ace of Wands. It's like this Ace of Wands is this thing you're trying to get to, but it's not an actual destination. It's just a way of being. And that'll help you start manifesting your dreams. But you gotta get through this gunk, get yourself out of it, and really like start enjoying things again. And then you'll be surprised that you even have more dreams to manifest than you thought. Let's pull one more from this deck. What else does pile 2 need to know at this time? Healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. So there's another message around healing past pains, however that looks for you. And then exceeding expectations, I soar into excellence. This is where it feels like where you need to drop like the exact scenario ending that you want, because the universe is going to rush in and give you more than you could ever imagine. But you got to release that control on this exact outcome happening a certain way. Allow, go with the flow, allow, freedom and allow, you know, for this pile, allow things to flow in and rush into your life that are going to make it better than you ever expected. And I feel like as I say that, some people are like, that's never going to happen. Right there, change that thought. That thought's not getting you there. I promise you. That thought's this yucky, mucky, hamster wheel where you need to be in this shining light. And again, if you're not there, find the things that will get you there, even if it's just a sunset. Okay, so next cards, I'm going to use this card deck. What else does pile 2 need to hear at this time? What do they need to know? Become a clear channel. So with this card popping up, I feel like a lot of you may have some gifts. You may have a voice that has maybe been held back for a long time. Maybe you've been afraid to open yourself up and be a clear channel. Maybe you've never tried. I feel the need to talk about automatic writing for some of you, like getting in a meditative state and just start writing down whatever pops in your head. That could be like, go to the grocery store, buy dog food, just start there. Whatever starts coming out, you don't judge it, and then start writing out. And you can even ask your soul a question, what do I need to know right now? And then allowing yourself to be the channel for yourself and realize that everyone is gifted. Everyone is connected. We forget that a lot, but I'm not doing anything that you guys can't do. I just had to trust and believe in myself to get there. Still deal with, you know, all the self-doubt and stuff, but I feel like some of you guys are being really called to be a channel of some sort, even if it's just for your own messages. And I also feel the need to say, like, though, if you've been trying to do that with tarot and you don't seem to be able to get a clear message for yourself, start with like doing like a Celtic cross or something like that. Or recognize that is really hard to read tarot for yourself because it's hard to detach yourself from the emotions of something. So don't be hard on yourself about that. Most tarot readers I know really can't read for themselves, or need a strict layout like a Celtic cross or something to get a clear message. Just a little tidbit for somebody. That's for somebody. All right, what else does pile 2 need to hear? Reassess. There may be something that you need to reassess. I feel like we've kind of already talked about that, reassessing like this outcome, that you're this destination that you're trying to get. Pivot if needed. If you've been trying at something, it's just getting nowhere, and you're the hamster wheel is like keeps popping into my head where you're just doing the same things over and over and you're not getting where you want to go. A new approach is needed. Doesn't mean you have to change like the goal, but maybe the approach to getting there, and reassess that. And maybe actually just have a little fun. Pause and have some fun in life. Put that goal on the back, enjoy life again, and then revisit it with a new frame of thinking and a new vibrational state. Okay, I'm going to pull 1 or 2 cards from here, and then I'll pull one kind of love message card. Else is pile 2, this one. We have protection. Create sacred space to keep uninvited energy out. So if you feel for some reason that there's the forces working against you, or you pick up other energy you don't want, there may be a need to create energetic intentions around your protection of your energy. Maybe keep an evil eye or something like that on yourself. But I think just setting that intention that you are protected, asking your guides or the universe, however you want to view that, your angels, to protect you in certain situations. They always want to help, but you have free will, so you do have to ask for it. But protection is a good thing to kind of make a ritual of at this time as well. All right, and let's do kind of just like, these are love oracle cards. So let's see maybe you guys need to hear 3 things. I guess we're taking them all. It says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. You have allow popping up again. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it's only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Okay. And then we have friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship. Your love life will dramatically improve. So those are kind of your loving messages, you know, let there be closeness, but space. Don't make decisions based on what you think you should be doing or you feel like you have to do. Maybe if you're carrying someone else's guilt, let that go and be true to yourself. And then also always nurture friendships and relationships. If for some reason your relationship is more chemistry than friendship, maybe look at that a little bit and ask yourself if that's really what you want. If it is, rock on. But there is a need to develop a stronger bond of friendships in your loving connections at this time. So pile 2, I'm going to end this here. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, even if it's just an emoji. If you're interested in a personal reading, I do have those, the information in the description box below. Also, if you think someone else would enjoy this type of reading, I would love it if you guys would share this. I always appreciate that. And as always, thank you guys for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in a future reading. Bye, guys. Hello, my lovely friends. For pile 3, you picked this ethereal quartz. Here, it's kind of like a smoky quartz, but has some really cool inclusions in it. If you hold it a certain way, it feels like you can see angels in there. So maybe some of you guys are very connected to the angels or whomever. But today's pick a card. We are going over what do you need to know, what do you need to hear, messages from spirit. I was going to do a different reading today, but I was very drawn to do it this reading and different than I normally do readings. So your opening card, we pulled the number 40, and it was the land between. I'm actually going to read the description from this book. This is the Oracle of the 7 Energies. This deck is amazing, but I don't want to summarize this. I feel like there's it's well put in this book, so I'm just going to read that for you guys real quick. We'll do oracle card or tarot cards and some oracle cards, and just kind of see what messages you guys need. So the land between. I'll hold this up because this is such a cool card. I'll let you guys look at this while I talk. It says key concepts: being between worlds, learning to be okay while at the threshold of what was and what will be. A time of waiting and evolving, gray areas, something essential yet still in development, metamorphosis. You're in a process of change. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were, but you aren't sure what the next experience of your life will be. You are in between what was and what could be, in a pupal stage, like during the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. However, you can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and the uncomfortable as you reinvent yourself. The thing is, you're not quite there yet. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed that version of yourself and become something new. You must start redefining who you are in the context of your question. What do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore this stage of your evolution to get to know yourself better? The process in between worlds is where things get really interesting. You learn how to manage your fear, how to stay present in the now, and how to see in the dark. You absorb lessons offered to you with grace because you can't go any faster. This is the real test of emotional fortitude, patience, trust, and humility. Once you have made this no man land your home, it will be part of you. Then whatever was set in motion comes to life. This is what you've been waiting for. When you look back, you will grow to love this in-between place, for it's where you were reborn. So a lot of you could feel like at a crossroads. You could be like, why is this taking so long? When is this next phase going to happen? Just know that this time, really, you're going to need to focus in and be present and look at the lessons, maybe digest them a little bit more. Maybe there's one last little puzzle piece. And, as the card says, sometimes that can be uncomfortable, sitting and be like, well, I want to be here and I'm not here anymore. And I don't really like this because I want to be here, but learning to enjoy this in between and make it a part of yourself and realize what a beautiful part of it. When that caterpillar goes into a chrysalis, it becomes sludge. And then it becomes the beautiful butterfly that it'll eventually become. But that in-between point is very important. So, okay, so let's see. I'm going to pull some tarot cards. It might pertain to this. It might be a totally different message. I don't know where we're going. I was along for the ride today too, but I'm so thankful for you guys for showing up for this reading. I'm wanting to do more readings of this nature. I'll still do love readings, but I'd rather do readings like this as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Okay, pile 3. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear at this time? What does pile 3 need to know or hear at this time? We have an 8 of Pentacles. Things are in the work. You're in that working phase. You're putting in the hard work. Make sure you're patting yourself on the back. If you've been working on healing, if you've been working on growing, and again, you aren't getting to where you think you should be or know you want to be, commend yourself for all the hard work you've done so far. I feel like this pile needs a big pat on the back, a big like step back, and to look how far you've come, even if you're not to where you wanted to go, but be very proud of yourself. Even if you're in the in-between, you can be proud of yourself every step of the journey, not just when you get to where you're trying to go. All right, 4 of Pentacles. So, you know, staying grounded. 4 of Pentacles can hold a message around holding on to the past. If you're holding on tightly to something that isn't meant to be in your future, you might be needing to let it go because it is just holding you back, or it's holding you from getting through this period. So that might be a one-off message, but if that resonates, look at what you're trying to, where you're trying to go. Is there anything that you're holding on to that's impeding you from getting there? Because it's just slowing down your process. Then we have the Sun. All right, so there is a kind of similar message in another pile. I don't recall what pile now. I've kind of spaced these out a little bit, but I feel like you guys are on the other side of it. It's like there was a pile about avoiding the work or avoiding this, but I feel like you guys are in it, and I feel like you guys need to realize that. Again, the tweak might be letting go of some old ideas that you had, letting go of possibly an old connection, an old relationship, an old way of being that's outdated, that's no longer going where you're going. It's like the old version of you can't exist in this new reality that you're creating for yourself, because that old version was rattled with sadness and pain and all this stuff, and you're going into the light. You guys have the Sun here. This is like where you're going. So you're putting in all this hard work, or you've been putting the hard work. This feels like past, present, future, that kind of vibe, because again, this is kind of like the in-between. So you've been putting in the work, you're kind of in this in-between, you may be being asked to let some things go, and then your next step is getting over this little side into the Sun. And the Sun is the happiest card in all of tarot. So you're like almost there, pile 3. Like it's just a little bit more, a little more digging. But again, please don't shoot the messenger. There's a need to let something go, pile 3. And that also could just be an old story about yourself. You know, sometimes most of us have been through a lot. Some of us have been through really, really bad things. And the longer that we actually hold on to that, and that is, you know, it might have made you who you were, but where you're going, that story doesn't apply. So you might also have to let go of the story that you've told about yourself, the story that you believe about yourself. That might be the tweak, because this new version of you isn't resonant with the past version of you, and you don't have to keep reliving that story or retelling that story. You know, if there's a context that you telling that story will help somebody, then yes, but stop reliving that old story, because you're not that person, and the past can only stick with you if you continue to repeat it. And that also can be in the words that you speak and the thoughts that you think. So just be mindful of that, pile 3. Because where you're going, the sun is shining. And if you've come from a dark, gloomy, rainy, stormy place, that's your old story. But again, letting that story go. And I feel the need to remind somebody, like, to keep retelling that story is holding you there. And yes, that retelling that story proves that you're strong and proves that you're all this and proves how much you've been through. But you know what? You have nothing to prove to anyone. You're just going to lead and light, or shine your light, and people won't even care how you got there. you know, like you don't have anything to prove to anyone other than yourself. And so letting go of that need to justify yourself also may need to be what needs to be dropped right now, pile 3. And that may only resonate for a few of you guys. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, just let that part go. But just know that the sun is shining over here, and you're in this in between, the last little tweaks and twerks, but you're getting there. Okay, what cards do I want to pull next? All right, let's see. Pile 3. What else do they need to know, need to hear? Illumination. And I feel like this is where you're going, the sun, you know, and illumination starts in that early morning, you know, before the sun comes up, when things start getting bright again, when you start being able to see. And I feel like that's where you guys are at. Like you're on this precipice of like the light shining again, the sun shining again. So I think this pile needs a lot of encouragement that you're almost there. The keep going, the sun is about to come up and it's all going to be okay. It's just you're like in that early morning hours, right before the sun comes up. Again, you're starting to see things more clearly and see things differently. And you're right there, but things are being illuminated. But I also feel like some things are being spotlighted at this time. So look in at where the focus is, or life is drawing you to focus in on at this time before it lights everything up, because there might just be a few things that you can actually see, and those are the things that you need to work on, the things that are being illuminated in your life at this time, either by situations or triggers or emotions. Use all those things. Like, you know, a lot of us talk about, oh, well, I got triggered, or, you know, it's always being a bad thing. Like, usually triggers are actually a very helpful tool if you can see them that way, because they're letting you know where you have old pain, old hurts, old things within yourself that you can heal or can be worked on. And then they no longer have the power of you. So triggers are also showing you where you're giving your power away, and what can you do to heal those parts of yourself so no one has that power over you anymore. I like to look at triggers as like indicator lights, like on your dash in your car. It's like, hey, there's an issue. Please address this. I'm going to keep popping up every time this happens because I want you to know there's a wound that needs extending. You know, there's an area that needs to be addressed. So if you can objectively look at some of your triggers, and maybe not all of them, but, you know, I think if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and use that as an indicator of something that needs your love, needs your compassion, and needs your healing. You can really like move out of this in between and get to where the sun is shining again. So look at what's being illuminated in this time, pile 3. Purification. There's this, yeah, it's, again, you guys are right on the edge. Like here we have a sunflower popping up. Purification. Like you're being cleansed and cleared of all this stuff, of all the gunk, all the blah, the past, but it's because of your hard work. Like I feel like you guys are doing it, and you need to know that, like, you got to be proud of yourself. Like you're doing the work, you've done the work, you're rocking it. Just keep going, you know? Like the sun wants to shine on you. I mean, beautiful imagery here. And it's right there. It's literally right there. Like next step is into the sun. And then freedom for some of you right there. So beautiful. All right, let's see what chakra areas need to be addressed at this time. Chakra cards do we have for pile 3? What chakra areas do they need to focus on? Okay. We have your root chakra. The crystal they have on here is hematite, but any root chakra, like any black or red crystals could work. So it says foundation. Foundation is what the castle of your soul was built upon. So working with your root chakra, very similar, like the 4s in tarot are usually foundational cards. And so this is foundational material things. So maybe work on, you know, if you're in this in between, work on things that are setting you up for success financially, setting you up for feeling safe in your world, building a savings account. I know that sounds very normal, for kind of, you know, some of these piles have been really out there. So this feels very like run of the mill, but like I'm hearing someone needs to like work on putting some money in your savings, like pick up a little side hustle, start putting money away, just to help, like if there's stress around money or there's a safety issue around money or you feel unsafe around money, work on building up some savings. If you don't know where to start or you don't have a lot of time, I mean, you can look around. Like I recently started selling stuff on Mercari, and like it's amazing what you don't realize you have around, and you're like, oh, you know, I mean, that someone might pay you a little bit for that, and some things you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that I have this thing collecting dust that someone else really wants, and you know, we'll buy it, and then I can build this little nest egg for myself. So there's lots of ways that you can build a little bit of extra income, but again, this feels around something around being safe and grounded and feeling secure. And if you've given that power away to somebody else in your life, start pulling that back by whatever this is, building that up so you have it for yourself. If there's some area of your life that you're depending on somebody else and that makes you feel insecure, makes you feel unsafe, maybe work on ways that you can start having that for yourself instead of depending on someone else for it. All right, so what else? Solar plexus, citrine, abundance. The world is abundant when you choose to see it this way. So with this sun shining coming with this purification card, there also may be a need to shift how you're viewing the world, because the world is what you choose to see, like how you choose to see it. There's a beautiful quote by Wayne Dyer, which is one, if you don't know who Dr. Wayne Dyer was, amazing. I always suggest there is, and it's on YouTube, people put out, there's an old book that was put on like audio cassette first for audiobooks, but it's 101 Ways to Transform Your Life. I listened to that. It literally changed my life. Like I was a person that was very much stuck in victim mentality. I had a really rough go at it in my early life, and I told that story over and over. So I relate to that part of the message, and I kept myself stuck there. And the work, wow, I'm gonna cry about that. But the work Wayne Dyer did really changed my outlook on life and how I view everything. So, and there, you know, he uses a lot of teachings from a lot of people. I didn't expect to go here with this message, but one starter thing, if you're interested in, if that sparks an interest in you, I would say look up 101 Ways to Transform Your Life. I still listen to it to this day, like 15 years later. There's always something different I get from it. Some of it's a little cheesy, but it's really good, thought-provoking things that can really help. But with that said, there's a quote by him, and it says, hostile people live in a hostile world, and loving people live in a loving world, but it's the same world. So sometimes it does come with how you perceive a situation or perceive things around you. Can be what's highlighted. So just there's a message here about choosing to see the abundance all around you, because there is. You know, sometimes we get stuck in looking at the lack or what's missing or what I don't have, and switching to look at like, wow, the fact that I'm watching this reading right now, however I'm watching it, that's abundant. And I have the time to do that, to listen to Joy yammer on about this thing. But and recognizing those little things and switching to gratitude can make a huge shift in your life. Okay. Where am I going next? Let's see. We are going here. So let's see, from pile 3, what else do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Whew, got kind of winded on that message for some reason. All right. No, there's too many. Just one or two, please. All right, I'm going to take this one. 3 more came up. So we have sharing of yourself. I'm an incredibly generous being. So there may be a need to share of yourself. This could be share your personal wisdom. Share that story if it's helping somebody else grow. You know, like you don't have to let your old self define you, your old stories to define you. That's kind of what I touched on, you know, again, and situationally, it may be good to share this thing that you've been through, because it will help someone else see there's a way through. But don't let that old storyline define you anymore. But there is a need to share of yourself and be a generous being. And again, there's lots of ways to do that. Possibly even be sharing of your time, a volunteer, stuff like that, that can really shift your vibrational state and your emotional state by helping others and sharing of yourself. Also hear that some of you guys are, there's a type of light worker that Dolores Cannon speaks about, that you're here like, you know, most of us want some big, like, I'm here for some amazing life purpose. And some of us are just here just because your energy helps influence those around you, even when you don't know it. So just by like going out and going to a store and just walking around, your energy is actually transmuting and helping other people. So I feel like also that could be for some of you guys. You might not realize just how, just the fact that you're here, the fact that you're alive, the fact that you're other people's lives, like how transformative that is to other people, and recognizing that that's another way of sharing, just sharing this beautiful, loving energy that you carry with you, is a life purpose, and it is one of the biggest ones, and it's up there just as much as anything else is. So don't downplay that about yourself either. Okay, let's see. Savoring pleasures. I fully embrace the bliss of life. So this has kind of come up in each pile a little bit differently, about enjoying the journey, enjoying the path through, enjoying this in-between place, but allowing yourself to enjoy some pleasures. So stop and smell the roses. We have lots of things. We have a bath, we have some wine, we have some candles, we have a mirror. That's also, you know, enjoying yourself, enjoying some music, savoring some things, and recognizing that you can make any moment special if you choose to savor it. So this feels like a lot of like realizing some choices you have, some choices how you're viewing your life, some choices how you're viewing a situation, and choices to be like, I got an hour of downtime. How can I savor this and do something fun? Even if it's having a little dance party in your living room, and like do something that you enjoy, and like really just being like, okay, like I don't have to spend money to do this. I don't have to do this. I can just enjoy being alive. I can walk outside and look at, marvel at the things around me, marvel at the people around me, and savor the moments. And that can really shift a lot of things. Okay, let's see. Next, what does pile 3 need to hear? What do they need to know? Pile 3, what do they need to hear? What do they need to know? Make no judgments. So there's a need to temper any judgments you have about someone or something, or how you think things should be, how they need to go, those kinds of things. Be mindful of any judgments you're making. I think that's pretty straightforward. Just a loving reminder. Even judgments on yourself. Again, how you should have done something, especially if you're judging like the past versions of yourself. I mean, that's not changing anything. Like, change the things that you can. Like this in between, work on the things that you can change. Like, don't beat yourself up for something old. And same with other people, you know. Like, try not to judge a book by its cover. You'll be surprised what you can find out when you choose to open it instead. You know, those kinds of vibes. All right, let's see. Engage higher reason. So there may be a need to, again, this feels kind of objective, like stepping back and engage a higher reason about something, like being objective about something versus emotional about something, trying to work through things or heal things from an objective place instead of a blaming place or a judgmental place. Okay, let's see. Where do I want to go next? I'm actually seeing a deck that I didn't use in the other 2 piles in my head, so we have some mindful messages. I feel like something from here wants to come out for you guys. So pile 3, why? I'm not sure why I was drawn to this deck. I wasn't planning on using it, but here we are. Let's see, what does pile 3 need to hear? Unlimited. I create my reality with the thoughts I think and the things I focus on. I am unlimited in my ability to create a beautiful life full of good and love. And this is going back to the thoughts you think, the words you speak about your life, what's possible, and realize that sometimes, you know, we limit ourselves by what we are choosing to see in life. All right, but you are unlimited, pile 3. Up and out. To heal the parts of me that feel hurt, I must feel every emotion. It has to come up to come out. Don't try to push feelings away. Sit with them and feel them. I sit with them and I feel them and I release them. So in this in-between, in this, you know, if we want to go back to the butterfly scenario, that metamorphosis, that chrysalis stage when they're in the cocoon, it's all mushy and bleh, you know, but so you might feel a little mushy and bleh, but you gotta feel those feelings. And even again, this could be where this objectivity is coming up in this message about, instead of, you know, being consumed by the feeling, being objective, be like, okay, I'm feeling angry. I don't have to react to that, but there's anger that wants to come up. Where do I feel that in my body? Like, do I feel it in my hips? Do I need to stretch this? Do I feel it in my shoulders? Do I feel it in my jaw? Like, am I feeling tension? Where am I holding this emotion? You know, and maybe I need to stretch that. Maybe I need to move that. Maybe I need to work through that and help that energy flow because it's stagnant before it causes like a physical issue in my body. But allowing yourself to feel things. And again, you don't have to be consumed by these emotions. You can strictly be objective and be like, okay, well, I feel really angry. Why am I angry? I'm angry at this situation, or I'm angry that this person did this to me, or I'm angry, and that's okay. I feel like a lot of us, especially if you're on the light worker path, sometimes like, oh, I shouldn't be angry at anybody. And you know what? You can be angry because it's there. And if you're not acknowledging it, you're repressing it, and it's going to show up in other ways. And then being like, okay, well, I'm angry that this happened, and I'm allowed to be angry, like allowing yourself to feel whatever this is, but also allowing yourself to feel it, recognize it, and let it go and release it. So it no longer is holding you back from areas in your life. And again, it's no longer stored in your body. Your body stores old emotions and it comes up in physical ailments a lot. So be very mindful of that. All right. So last little card, I'm going to just pull, these are like love oracle messages, just because I wanted to touch on that, because I know that's a majority of my followers come for love. But so here is some stuff. So we have 2 cards. We'll do time. It says, you are trying too hard, give it time. So something in loving connections may need some time. And then we also have forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to wait. You create your reality by what you think and dream and imagine. That has come up so many times, guys, about how you're choosing to see stuff, what you're focusing on and your thoughts, and starting to realize that there's not much that we have control over in this life, but we do have control on how we view things, how we allow things to affect us. Not saying that you don't have a right to feel whatever you want to feel. Again, we already talked about feelings. They're important, but you can choose what you're giving away, like how long you feel that way, and releasing that, and not letting those emotions to control you. And by choosing to, you know, see a different way or do a different thing. I kind of just lost that message. I apologize. I had it and then so hopefully whatever I did say, fun fact, I don't remember my readings. It flows out. But what was I just saying? Wow. Hopefully I got out enough that made sense, because I lost that train. But yeah, okay, allowing, like, how we allow things to affect us, we do have control over that. And when you really realize that, and you can stop yourselves in these moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, and you realize that you do control how you're allowing this to affect you, and you're letting it go and not giving that your power away to whatever this thing is, like, it can make a huge shift in your life. So pile 3, I'm going to end this here. I hope this message came across properly for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, comment, share this with someone that you think that would enjoy this. If you're interested in a personal reading, I have that the information in the description box below. I'm sending you guys all lots of light and love and all the good vibes and the willingness to dive into those emotions that aren't. And yeah, I hope all is well, and I look forward to seeing you guys in a future reading. I accidentally did this in a past reading where I left this up when I was cleaning up, and then realized that you guys were still sitting here, and I kind of chatted a little bit, and some people told me they were there and they enjoyed it. So I will be doing a post-reading chat. if you want to stick around, I'm just going to leave this going, and I'm going to clean up and talk for a minute before I have to leave and go pick my kids up from school. So, all right, but thank you, pile 3. Lots of love. Okay, so I hope everyone that did stick around, hi, thanks for still being here. And I was surprised that a couple people told me how much they enjoyed and found like me cleaning up like cathartic for some reason. So we're just gonna do this together. I don't know what I want to talk about this time. Last time I touched a little bit on some stuff I had going on, or I have going on. So pretty soon, I've been working on some different spiritual, like energy healing modalities, Reiki, SRT, some shamanic practices, things of that nature, for like the past year and a half. After a crazy experience, I don't think I'm ready to tell the experience that happened in my meditation, but my soul was very guided to really push me in a new direction that I honestly haven't been listening to as much as I should. And I've just been strictly doing it for friends and family and things of that nature. But I did put a lot of time into researching and studying and practicing different modalities of energy healing, and then I've done nothing with it. I'm sure maybe some of you guys can relate. And some of that is, you know, self-doubt. Some of that is, you know, not knowing if anybody would want that type of service. But anyways, with that said, I'm going to be putting it out there for anyone who wants it. I don't know exactly what, not even sure, because it's a bunch of different modalities, but basically it's just a dynamic energy healing, where I kind of do a couple different protocols, basically in meditation per what your soul guides me to. I work with your higher self and your team, and I know that sounds crazy and woo-woo. It's still weird to me completely, but here we are. But I'll be offering that soon. I'll be doing like an introductory price in the beginning, but basically I go into meditation, and I also have like a list of things that I'm looking at in your inner and outer etheric field. I'm looking for, looking through your chakras, readjusting, realigning things physically, things of that nature, possibly readjusting limiting beliefs, those kinds of things. But ultimately it's kind of like distance. The closest thing I can think to say it's like is like distance Reiki, or it's Reiki but in a distance form, just for overall well-being, hopefully energy shift if you've been stagnant in areas of your life. But I will be offering that soon. I'm just working on my some client intake paperwork that I'm gonna do, and I've been really pushed to really kind of shift my own personal offerings more towards energy healing, less tarot reading. But I still love this. Obviously I'm still going to do this, but I also am going to be bringing some new things to this channel. I am going to what am I going to do? I'm going to start releasing some new videos. I have to get pay for or buy some new programs for editing. But I have crystal singing bowls. I have all kinds of cool stuff here, and I don't share that with anyone. I've been really guided to start sharing more of that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing some like chakra healing videos, possibly some meditation videos, those kinds of things, like adding a robust offering on this A Journey in Light channel. I'll still be doing the love tarot readings, but I'll be doing a lot more other stuff because that's really what feeds my soul and kind of where I'm metamorphosing to and transforming to. I feel like a lot of people that I've encountered, especially old clients, are kind of in the same path. They're like, I really don't care what this person is thinking and feeling anymore. I really want to look at my own soul and how I can better feel and things like that. So I'll be adding a lot more of that kind of stuff, or more readings like this, into my offerings here on this YouTube channel. So hopefully that will, I have a little fear about people being mad about that for some reason, or only want me to do love readings. I feel like when I put out spirit aligned messages. I get so many comments like, can you do a thinking feeling video? And I'm like, I have 3.5 years. I have hundreds of those. Like, feel free to go do that. You know, but then I start feeling bad. Like I need to be just doing that or something. I don't know. Again, this is just me shooting the shit with you guys after a reading. And just being honest and vulnerable. But anyway, so that's where I'm going. I need to get out of my own way and my own limiting beliefs about what other people are going to think about it, and just know that the people that want to find it, want to hear that stuff, will watch it, and those people don't have to. And then they can just watch my love readings and it's fine. So I have to remember this is about my journey as well, not just everyone that's viewing. And I hope we all can evolve together and kind of do a mixture of all that. So I don't know what else to say. If you guys do enjoy me doing like a post-reading chat, I can do them more often because I really just clean up here after I'm done. Try to get things together. Some of these I don't keep in boxes. I have in different things. If you guys ever want to see a behind the scenes, I have an entire massive cabinet of 200 different decks between Oracle and Tarot decks. I have so many decks. There's never enough, right? I have a huge cabinet and you guys can't see it, but I have all kinds of cards if anyone's ever interested in what I got going on. So, anywho, yeah, I guess that's about all of my chit chat. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm boring myself at this point and I need some water. So thank you guys again for sitting through with this. Hopefully you guys are interested in the dynamic healing. I know those that need it will find me. I do know that. That's how that works. And any of you guys that are interested also in doing that kind of stuff, if you're feeling guided and pulled to do that, then I implore you to put yourself out there and do that, because you never know until you do. And there'll always be someone, you know, the universe will align you with people that need exactly what gifts you have and things you have to offer. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to end this here. Lots of love to you. Bye.